Hey, we're going to finish out the week of this holiday survival guide on the follow through with tip number 6, raise your expectations. Now, yesterday we talked about lowering them, and that is such a huge one because we put so much into all of this. The expectations are so out of whack. It is not even funny. And then is it any wonder, like when it doesn't work out, when that person cancels or their flight gets canceled and they can't make it, and everything just goes down and they're like, oh man, it's ruined. Well, you know what? It's about Jesus' birth, and that did happen, and that truth is still there. His love is still with us. And so today I want us to raise our expectations for what God can do, for what He can do, to focus on His ability and not ours. Luke chapter 1, verse 37. Again, the angel talking to Mary, and she's talking about all these impossibilities, because in this Christmas story, you have a bunch of things that really shouldn't have happened. You have the relation of Mary and Joseph, right? Elizabeth, and she was the mother of John the Baptist. Now, her and her husband were in their old age, like they couldn't have kids. It was impossible for them to have kids. So they had zero expectation to have that happen. But God says, no, raise your expectations because I can do the impossible. And she winds up being pregnant and gives birth to the forerunner of Jesus. How awesome is that? And then God's going to do the most impossible thing by having Mary give birth, and there's no male biological component to that. It's a medical impossibility, but the Holy Spirit is doing this. God's power is doing this. And so the angel says, for nothing will be impossible with God. Remember that. Nothing will be impossible for God. So I want you to spend some time today thinking about all that God has done. Think about all the miracles in the scriptures. Think about how He made everything, how He's holding everything together. Look at some of the things around you in nature, all the different animals, all the different things, and just keep asking yourself, like, how amazing is that? Like, allow yourself to really think it through, and instead of explaining God away, I think those things actually help to preach about how amazing He is. You look in the sky and you see the clouds and you see the wind, and right, and you see the clouds moving with the wind, and you see the sun and you see the stars at night, and you see all of that, and you're like, whoa, the one who made all of that loves me, died for me, rose for me, is coming back, has given me heaven, and you know what? I think He can handle all the things in my life. So let's raise our expectations for who God is and what He is going to be able to do for our family during this time of the year as we focus on Him. Imagine the peace that could well up in our souls. Imagine the joy that could just overflow. And instead of being exhausted and kind of worn out at the end of all this, we could be like, man, I'm energized for next year. I am ready. And it's going to be difficult, I know, and it's going to be some tough things. But you know what? God is going to be with us. So I want us to think about that. I want us to let that sink in as we raise our expectations during this time of the year. All right, you have a great rest of your weekend, and we'll see you Monday for our next tip for this holiday survival guide. See you then.